Hi, everyone, and welcome back to Yoga for Skaters. My name is Ace, your friend in yoga and off skates training. And today I have a posture focus class for us. So these posture focus classes are not full length classes, but they are intended just to give us some tools to be able to build towards specific postures. Today's posture is headstand. So for this little mini practice instructional here, you won't need any equipment. I will recommend that you're near a wall. As I demo in the center of the room, you can definitely try your headstand at the wall. It's going to be same rules apply. You're just going to be having the wall in case you need it. All right, so let's go ahead and get started. As we focus on building strength and technique for headstand, two things we're going to focus on today, which is going to be that mobility of the scapula. So that squeezing of the scapula together and then being able to press the scapula away and broaden so that we can have that mobility to take the arms overhead. So for headstand, our elbows are going to be bent. We're balancing on our forearms. And so we're going to want that overhead strength as well as that shoulder mobility. So let's go ahead and get started. We are just going to start in a comfortable seated position. We'll warm up the shoulders here. So go ahead and take the arms nice and wide. And then you're going to flip the right palm up. And you're going to start to point that left thumb way down as you look to the right. And that right thumb is going to twist away. And then we're going to switch. So the right thumb twists down, left thumb twists up and around, neck turns the other way. So I'm turning my head as I'm turning the shoulders, just kind of mobilizing that internal and external rotation. Beautiful. One more time to each side. And last side. Perfect. And go ahead and bring those palms back. They can be up or down. We're going to take the right arm on top of the left arm. So we're going to cross elbows and cross our wrists into these eagle arms. And then from here, can you lift the elbows and lengthen the wrists away from the nose or the forehead? Perfect. So we'll activate these eagle arms to find a little more space through the upper back. So go ahead and press the elbows together, press the palms together. And it's going to feel like you're forcing the shoulders away from each other as you engage really tight across the chest. Inhale into that upper back body. And then exhale, just soften. Ease up the push of the elbows and the palms. And then relax those arms nice and wide. And we'll do the same thing on the second side. So this time, left elbow on top of the right, crossing elbows, crossing wrists. Good. Lift the elbows, lengthen the wrists, and then we'll find that bit of traction by pressing the elbows together, pressing the palms together, feeling the shoulder blades spread away from each other as you find some engagement across the chest. One more inhale here. Exhale, softening everything. Nice. Go ahead and reach those arms long. Perfect. And let's shift right into tabletop position. So we just made space through that upper back. And now we're going to use that space, mobilizing those shoulder blades. So shoulders right over those wrists, knees right under the hips. And from here, you'll squeeze those shoulder blades together. Just let the heart melt towards the floor. So the arms stay nice and long. And then you're going to press the hands away. Yeah, and start to broaden that upper back. So keep going here. These are a little warm up for our scapular push-ups. And as you're retracting and protracting those shoulder blades, can you keep the core toned so that we maintain that neutral spine? No arching or rounding. Good. It may feel like that upper back is rounding a little bit. That's okay. That's what we're focusing on. Perfect. One more time to protract those shoulder blades. So feel them spread away from the midline. Walk the hands a little bit forward. Again, keeping those protracted shoulders. Tuck the toes, lift the hips up and back. And just notice how with that space across the width of the upper back, you can take those arms overhead with ease. Beautiful. Take a full inhale here. And a full exhale. So our first inversion, downward facing dog. From here, step that right foot in between the hands. Inhale, rise up for your high lunge. So find your high lunge position that you can maintain here, maybe a slight bend in the back knee. Our focus is on these shoulders, this upper back. So from here, press the pads of the fingers together overhead. Those biceps should be by the ears, and then press the pads of the fingers together a lot. And then can you feel the outer border of the shoulder blades, the upper back, engage, maybe get a little wider, take one more inhale. From here, keep pressing the pads of the fingers together, bend the elbows, hug those elbows towards the front edge of your mat. Perfect. Forearms press up towards the ceiling. Good. One more breath here. I know these shoulders, these arms are active. And then as you're ready, release the arms. Step back to high plank position. Take an inhale in your high plank position. And as you exhale, come on down to your forearm plank. So scapular push-ups from this forearm plank. If you'd like to take the knees down, you can do that. But same rules apply here. Squeezing the shoulder blades together to retract those shoulder blades. Good. And then pressing through the forearms to protract or spread the shoulder blades from the midline. Again, squeezing. Good. And then push the floor away. Use the floor, right? We can use that ground reaction force of the floor to find a little more engagement and space. Perfect. And then from here, come back to your forearm plank, and then knees down, thighs, then hips. Inhale, reach the heart forward and up, finding your Sphinx pose. Yeah, and then a breath here. Inhale. As you exhale, come all the way down. Reach those arms overhead. Next inhale, rise up for locust. Good. Again, working to keep those those biceps about by the ears. Good. One more inhale. Exhale, you're all the way down. Hands under the shoulders. We'll go all the way up and back to that downward facing dog. Beautiful. So one more time through those drills. On the second side, left foot steps in between the hands. Inhale, rise up for your high lunge. Perfect. And then pads of the fingers press together. Nice. Go ahead and broaden the upper back. Keep that engagement as you hug the elbows forward. Hinge at the elbows. And we're making the arms for our headstand. From here, can you press those forearms up towards the sky? Feel the shoulder blades rise up the back body. One more inhale. Exhale, go ahead and release. Hands come down. We're stepping back to high plank position. Inhale in high plank position. Exhale, lower to that forearm plank. Good. So 3 to 5 scapular push-ups, squeezing, use the floor, press it away. Nice. And wherever you are, just a reminder, that core is really handy for our inversions. So we'll keep an eye on that as we focus on the shoulders. Good. One more, 2 more maybe. And then from that forearm plank, lower the knees, the thighs, the hips. Inhale, reach forward, Sphinx pose. Good. Take one more breath here. Again, push the floor away with those forearms. Feel that upper back stretch, that chest open, and then all the way down. A round of locust. Inhale, rise up. Breathe here. Good. Can you lift those arms even higher? One more breath. Exhale, come on down. Good. Hands under the shoulders. Tuck the toes. Lift the hips up and back. Downward facing dog. Beautiful. Take a breath here in down dog. One more inhale. And exhale. Bend the knees. Come all the way down. All right. So let's break down technique for headstand. So there's probably a lot of ways to teach this. This is the way I teach it and the way I practice it. But if there's a way that works better for you, by all means, go for that. What I do want to say about headstand is it's a little bit of a misnomer because we aren't actually balancing on our head. And that's why I can wear this high ponytail and still do a headstand. So what we are thinking about doing in a headstand, though, is pressing through those forearms, lengthening those shoulder blades, right? Making space so that the head just hovers or has a little bit of contact, right? There's nothing really physiologically beneficial to having all this pressure on our head and our neck. There is something beneficial to building the stability and strength in the upper back, the shoulders, and getting our bodies upside down, okay? So for your headstand, the first thing I want to notice is your hand position. So for that hand position, you're going to interlace the fingers, and then I just like to stack the pinkies so that the base of the hands are flush, so I've got a nice base for my headstand. When I go upside down, what I'm looking to do is cradle the base of my skull in my hands. So that's why it's also nice to have this little bit of a net. From here, to set up your headstand, we're going to bring that hand position to the floor, and the elbows are going to be about shoulder width distance. So if you're wanting to use a wall, now's the time to go over to the wall as we set this up, okay? So from here, and we'll do this 2 more times. So if you want to watch this demo, and then we'll do it together. All right, here we go again. Elbows about shoulder distance apart. And then you're going to tuck the chin and bring the base of the skull into the hands, right? Into that cradled position. Perfect. And then what I like to do here is tuck the toes and lift up, making sure my shoulders are over the elbows and making sure that I can really press through the forearms. From here, I'm going to walk the toes as close to my nose because the closer my toes are to my nose, the closer my hips are to over my shoulders. And then one entrance is going to be squeeze a heel to the sit bone, let the toes of the other leg kind of hover. And then the other heel squeezes. And maybe you hang out here in a tuck, or maybe you keep pushing through the forearms, find the core, squeeze the inner thighs, and make your way all the way up to that full headstand inversion. And then you can just come down the way you went up. Good. Awesome. And then, of course, after our inversions, just allowing yourself to come up nice and slow, maybe taking a moment in child's pose or just seated. Yeah. All right. So let's go ahead and try that 2 more times together. So again, if you saw the way that I was working, I was squeezing that heel to the sit bone. That not only helps me engage the hamstrings, it helps me engage the core, keep everything nice and small, which when our limbs are closer to our body, we have more control. As we lengthen the limbs, we're going to need more stability and more control, right? So we can start little and work our way to bigger. Let's go into our second round of headstand here. So hands and forearms come down, cradle the back of the head in those hands. Good. Tucking the toes, shoulders over elbows. Walk your toes to your nose. Good. And then squeeze the belly, squeeze the inner thighs. As you push through the floor, you're leveraging to help yourself lift up, or maybe you're working, squeezing one heel to its sit bone. Good. Getting those hips overhead, then squeezing the other heel, and then maybe starting to straighten out. If all of that feels very inaccessible, you always have the option of from tucked toes to your nose, lengthening one leg, and working a bit of a kick up, right? And so we'll explore all these entries as we move through our practices. But for today, you've definitely got the head and the shoulder position. Go ahead and come on down if you haven't already and take a little breather in child's pose. Good. And then rolling your way up. All right, nice. So one more moment. This one's for you. Again, one more round through our headstand, and then we'll kind of wind it down, and that'll be our focus technique for today. So one more round, your pace, whatever feels good for you. I'm going to work on bringing both of my heels to my sit bone together and then going up. So we set up the forearms, we set up the hands, we tuck the toes, activate those forearms, right? Those shoulders lengthening away from the ears. Good. Squeezing heels to sit bone. And then pushing up, or finding your kick ups if that's more of your jam. And then seeing if you can come up and come back to your breath. Inhale. And exhale. Nice. And then as you're ready, making your way down. And we'll take that rest in child's pose together. Good. Arms overhead, or maybe you let those arms rest along the side body. Breathe across the upper back. Yeah. Breathe along the length of the spine. Good, and then take your time, finding your way back up. And then just a little counter pose for our headstand. Go ahead and swing those legs out in front of you. And then fingertips towards your hips. Good. Go ahead and press the heels down. Lift the hips up. You can always take the bent knee version here. But a little reverse plank. Yes. And if it feels good to drop the head back, you can do that. Perfect. Full inhale. And as you exhale, slowly make your way down. Perfect. All right. So that is your posture focus practice for this week. Again, we focused on mobility and stability for the shoulders and the upper back as we build into our headstand inversion. I hope you enjoyed that. Please leave any questions you might have in the comments below, and we'll see you next time for our posture flow.